Right, I've got two news articles here from the UK, which kind of relate to each other because, I like to try and bring the hypocrisy of this beautiful country to your attention. So which one are we going first? Right, we're gonna go with this one. A greener weed.
Ooh.
The UK firm growing carbon neutral cannabis. Go on, carbon neutral cannabis growing firm in the UK. Right. Anyway, I'm going to read this. I'm going to try and not have any bitterness. Okay. I'm going to try and just read this article. For 26 years, Olivia Dehan worked in the corporate sector, ending up as chief financial officer for Xerox in the UK and Ireland before retiring 4 years ago. Now, that seems like a pretty well-paying job, and he retired 4 years ago. Fair play to him, that's all good. Congratulations to that guy. Anyway, last month, he delivered his first consignment of high-strength cannabis. He was arrested and locked up for 20 years. No, he wasn't, everybody. Because as I said, he had a nice high-paying job before, so he's probably very wealthy. And he's allowed to grow that cannabis. What do you mean, Mackie? In the UK? Yes, in the UK. Dehan's Hope is legal and above board. Produced to supply the UK's burgeoning cannabis. Produced to supply the UK's burgeoning market for medical cannabis on prescription. What's more, Dehan and his colleagues believe it is the first carbon neutral indoor weed grown anywhere in the world.
I don't know about that now.
Yeah, skepticism, anybody? If you're skeptical, hit that like button, They hope that their plan to produce carbon neutral cannabis could show the way to securing the supply chain for all kinds of energy intensive horticulture in the UK, as climate related weather fluctuations increasingly imperil the supply from overseas, and soaring energy prices make production in the UK increasingly uneconomical. You know what makes the production of UK increasingly uneconomical? You want to know what? When you have your door kicked off and your plants stolen, that's really fucking uneconomical. Yep. But this guy doesn't have that problem. So, let me just get my little violin out here, Olivia Dehan. But anyway, I said there was going to be no bitterness, and here I am. I'm sorry, everybody. I apologize. Despite its reputation as a mind-altering drug, beloved of hippies and other eco-conscious types, it's like, Jesus, who writes this stuff, man? Cannabis, and particularly illicit cannabis, is not very green. Indoor cultivation of 1 kilogram of cannabis requires about 6,000 kilowatts of energy, with a mammoth carbon footprint of 1,400 kilograms, according to recent research by the European Monitoring Centre for Drugs and Drug Addiction, the EU's drug watchdog. Yeah, so they actually did a study on that to see how much energy it takes on average to produce a certain amount of cannabis, and it wasn't good. It takes a lot of energy. But you know what they could do? What would stop this? Not entirely, but it would reduce 90% of it, is if you legalize it so we can grow it outside. That would be a massive reduction. Just saying.
Definitely would.
That means just one joint rolled with 1/3 of a gram of weed has the same carbon impact as driving a plug-in hybrid electric car almost 3 miles. Listen to us damaging the environment the way we are with all these joints we're smoking. Wait a minute.
They're comparing me to a Tesla?
How dare you? You have stolen my dreams. Sorry, everybody.
You're calling me a Tesla. What the hell,
What the actual fuck, man? Are they trying to make us feel guilty fucking smoking a joint? Because it's the equivalent of an electric car driving 3 miles.
They could have used a diesel truck or something, it's equivalent to a very clean vehicle driving 3 miles. Like, okay, make a better point than that, maybe?
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It says here, scaled up, the impact is homogeneous. In the Netherlands alone, the amount of electricity stolen for cannabis production in 2021 was about 1 billion kilowatt hours, equivalent to the annual household electricity demand of Rotterdam, and a city of 650,000 people.
They're painting us as super bad there because, I don't know, just scaled up, the impact is humongous. I mean, come on now. We're home growers. They're making it sound like we're killing the world here.
That's right. It's madness, and it's madness.
It is madness.
This guy, he's able to grow lots of cannabis indoors in a green way. So at least that's changing, right?
But what they're doing here again, is stolen electricity. It sounds like your article is painting the any cannabis industry, at least, or even home growers, as criminals. We're not stealing. At least I'm not stealing my electricity. I'm paying for it.
You are paying for it. That's right. I don't know if this applies to home growers, does it? Really?
No, most home growers don't rig the electricity. It's a bad thing to do. Just because you're growing cannabis, you shouldn't become a criminal by stealing electricity. Don't do that. It's unsafe and it's immoral. Don't do it. It's just crazy. I mean, that amount of electricity. Who comes up with the statistic? I mean, who's got the pen and paper out and figured out how much energy is it when they smoke a joint? Is it do this and a third of a joint? Actually think of it. I mean, us as home growers, we probably bought a gram in our joints, right? So we're looking about 9 miles in an electric car. Oh my god! Oh my god! I need a shower. I feel so disgusting. Oh my god!
If it's only 9 miles in an electric car, I better drive slow. It takes me longer than that to smoke that joint.
That's another thing. What about if you drove efficiently? What about if it was downhill and you could just roll?
Yeah, true.
But yeah. So interesting. It's I just always have problems with these big companies opening up in the UK and growing a shitload of cannabis, making a shitload of money. But there's people like us guys who just can't grow a few plants at home to supply themselves personally. And then I saw another article, and we'll move on to the next article here, where it's the other side of the coin again, where we've got this guy and he's got this big grow that is able to run fossil fuel free or something. And then we have this 5 men charged with smuggling hundreds of kilos of cannabis into the UK. Hundreds of kilos. Hundreds. They sent a few bags of weed, unless they're really big bags.
It's a bale, a good sized bale.
Now, how are you getting that in? Damn. Trying to save on fossil fuels, Marge, instead of numerous plane journeys, just one.
Carbon footprint.
Gosh, you can't win, can you? You just can't win.
Jesus. You can't please them, man.
So 5 people have been arrested and charged by Met officers after a large quantity of cannabis was seized at Stansted Airport. The Met's investigation was led by officers from a new proactive policing team based in Hayes. The team are focused on tackling the most serious offences and organised crime in West London. Yeah, good luck. Jesus. 2 shipments of cannabis totaling 390 kilos with the street value of £3.9 million were seized at Stansted Airport by Border Force officers on the 26th and 27th of January. So it came in numerous days. It's coming in numerous packages. Damn, man. That must have been a shitload of weed coming for you. Surely they must have smelt it. You know what I mean?
It depends how it was packaged, That's the honest truth there. If they package it right, the smell won't be there, but still.
A previous shipment of 300 kilos of a substance believed to be cannabis was delivered to an address in Hayes on the 11th of January and was also linked to the investigation. Working at a pace following these seizures, Met officers executed warrants on the 1st of February at industrial units in Hayes and North Holt. 3 men and 1 juvenile were arrested in Hayes. 1 man was arrested in a van, which was stopped by police in North Holt. Unnecessary information, really. We don't need to know any of that. 4 men from West London, aged between 28 and 58, were charged with importing cannabis under the Misuse of Drugs Act 1971. They appeared at Willesden Magistrates Court on Saturday, the 3rd of February, where they were remanded in custody to appear at Harrow Crown Court on Friday, the 1st of March. A 5th male, aged 17, also appeared at Willesden Magistrates Court charged with imported cannabis. He was released on bail. Drugs ruin lives. And this is one of the sentences that I read in this article, which I got to bring this to people's attention. It's like,
oh boy,
drugs ruin lives. Let me just say something right here. Right? These people importing their chunks of cannabis from around the world, both those people and the people importing it were doing just fucking fine until the police kicked off their fucking door. What is ruining lives is stupid laws that make no sense and do no good. That's what's ruining the lives. It's not the drugs, it's the people fucking enforcing the ridiculous laws. Dickheads. Sorry.
Let us grow our own, and you won't have people bringing drugs in like this because people won't need them, won't want them.
That's right. So
yeah,
drugs ruin lives. That's why the Met is committed to transforming how we keep communities safe.
I think these people need to read Monkey's previous article to know that cannabis does not, in fact, ruin lives until someone gets arrested, of course. But
exactly, yeah. I mean, this is there it is, another myth. Cannabis ruins lives. No, getting caught with cannabis and being dragged through the legal system ruins lives.
No, maybe opioids ruin lives, or methamphetamines, or things like that, and then you can use the cannabis to help you get off of them. But
illegal drugs, anything that is in high demand, but people can't get access to it legally, is gonna create a black market. That's just the way everything goes. It was the same when alcohol was prohibited, and you know they changed their mind pretty quick on that one, but they left everything else illegal. And the countries that have decriminalized different drugs have seen a positive response in lots of different ways. It's ignorant. And that in the age of the internet, when all of this information is freely available to all of us, and there's people out there who are specifically paid, it is their job, their 9 to 5, to find out the information and give the right information to the right people to pass the right laws. So there's somebody out there studying whether cannabis should be legalized or not. And surely they have come to the same conclusions that we all have, that it being illegal causes more damage than it being legalized. You know, and it still hasn't been done. It baffles me, man. It baffles me. Fuck these people. Anyway, let's do another. They're the two from the UK there. So there's one guy who is growing cannabis, lots of it. It's going to sell it all to all those people on the prescriptions, you know, and so yeah, he's doing well. But these 5 people here, they're looking at prison time now. Young kid, 17 years old. He was just there making tea for his dad's friend or something, you know. He might have nothing to do with it. He's just a young kid, 17 years old, facing prison time. What for? What for? For a harmless herb? Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.